I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to come right out and say it. Somebody at Netflix needs to be fired. For those that are new to the anime sphere, you may not be aware of the term Netflix jail. This is a term that the anime fandom sort of created for Netflix as they started getting into the anime industry. They started buying up their own licenses, seeing all the popularity with things like Crunchyroll, and they wanted to join in. But the problem that Netflix had is that they have this mindset of the binge factor. They love the idea of having full series releasing on their platform and people just binge the whole thing. They didn't like the idea of simulcast. They wanted people to just watch the entire thing. So when they bought licenses from Japan that were airing in Japan every single week, every episode, they would buy up those licenses and they would hold it until they got all the episodes and they wouldn't give it to us. And they got all the episodes together, and then what they would do is they would dub it and everything, and they would just drop it all at once. And the major problem there was that they wouldn't release it but like 2 seasons later. You wouldn't see a show in summer until like the beginning of winter. That was their big problem. That is Netflix jail. But it went away. Thankfully, they finally got away from it, and they started kind of focusing on doing simulcast just like Crunchyroll and just like everybody else, and it was fantastic. Good job, Netflix. But now, we're going back to it. And they couldn't have chosen the worst show to do that with. Yes, the Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity is being delayed until September 7th for anywhere outside of Japan and Asia. Again, whoever made this decision, Netflix, whoever made this, you don't have to fire them. They made a goof. They don't understand. They don't understand like us having the finger on the pulse of anime. They don't understand how detrimental this is. Just don't listen to them anymore. Something. Whatever made you make the decision, stop. Because The Fragrant Flower Blooms is easily one of the most anticipated shows of the summer season. Let's look at it. Let's look at this chart over here. This is pretty much the same as Mal. Of all the new shows that don't have a pre-established fandom, Fragrant Flower Blooms is literally the #1 most anticipated show on these lists. It's even topping one of the most anticipated action show from Bones Film, Gachi Akuta. It's topping returners, most anticipated returners like Call of the Night, Sakamoto Days, Rascal Does Not Dream, Dr. Stone, Grand Blue. It's beating all these shows. Panty and Stocking. It's beating Panty and Stocking. That's how much people are super excited for this show. And this is Netflix's response. Let's wait until September, when we can have it all come out at once with an English dub. We don't care about a dub. Release it later. That's fine. But don't keep it from everybody else. You're feeding into piracy. The thing that Crunchyroll and Funimation and all these other companies try to get away from and give people the service quickly, you're undoing that stuff with this Netflix gel. And again, when you have a series that is the most anticipated new show of the season being held in there, people are not going to wait. That's the unfortunate thing. It is a dumb decision. There's other aspects of this whole thing that just really does boggle my mind. I've never liked the concept of Netflix. Because yeah, some people are going to ask, Andrew, what's so wrong? Why don't people just wait? And truth be told, it's a really good season to wait. Even I'm having this sort of like sigh of relief knowing that this is not coming out yet. Because this is easily one of my most anticipated of the seasons. Easily one of my most anticipated. I could easily take the break because my last 4 days have been absolute hell trying to cover all these shows and wanting to watch all these shows. And again, like I've stated before, 70 plus shows in this season. It's nuts. Having one less show is actually something that gives me a bit of a relief. But there's major problems behind this, and it's really around the idea of how it harms the property. Not so much the fandom, it hurts the property. And with a show like this that is so seemingly beloved by people, or at least the source material, I don't want to see this happen. Because what Netflix Gel does, the actual impact that it has to a property, is it kills discussion. It kills the build-up. It kills the word of mouth around a property. What always happens with shows that get put in this gel is that immediately, when people learn about the show, they're excited. But then the season comes around, and you have some people that are going to piracy, and they're watching it and having fun. But then you have like this massive majority of people that are like, but I don't want to go to those sites. I want to support the show. Well, I guess I'm just not going to be able to watch it. Well, that's a bummer. I can't be in that discussion. And they just go off to the side. And then finally, 2 seasons later, it finally pops up full dump on Netflix. And guess what? It's old. There's no conversation happening more. They don't want to watch it because all their friends already watched it. And then you have the fact that because it's full dump, you don't have weekly discussions happening that will build up the fandom. 5 people watched the first episode and they loved it. And they're talking about what happened in the first episode because they don't know what's going to happen next. They're debating what's going to happen next. And then these people see them talking about it and they go, oh, that sounds interesting. Let me watch the first episode and I'll watch the second episode with you guys. They do the same thing. Then the same effect happens. They're all talking about the second episode. Somebody else sees them and go, wow, I'll check out those episodes and I'll watch them there with you guys. It's a snowball effect of people building a community to discuss what happened and what will happen. When it comes to full dump shows, you already know what happened. You either talk about watching it or you finished it and you talk about the ending and the conversation stops there. It just completely kills any momentum a show can have. It's so stupid. And from a marketing standpoint, it makes no sense because of that. But then from a financial decision, it boggles my mind even more. I've spent so much time with finance people and marketing people, and I don't see how any of them would ever agree this is a good choice. Let's talk from a financial standpoint. One, you're holding this off and thus killing all the drive for people to subscribe to your channel in order to watch it. But additionally, you're going to full dump it on September 7th. Thus, what happens is people sub, they watch the whole series, and then they unsub. That was what was happening with the full dumps. I did it so many times. Moonrise comes out, full dump. Sub, watch, unsub. It makes no sense financially. And yes, I understand the prospect there is that Netflix just hopes that you'll just stick around. Or you'll forget to unsub. That's the whole idea. They love that when you forget to unsub. But either way, this is mind-boggling. And the reason why it's so annoying, for the most part, is just because of how much people wanted this show so bad. They were super excited for it. And the reason why it's so high on this chart is because the source material is loved by so many people. This has insanely high ratings on both AniChart and Mal. People love this franchise. Now, the other reason why I wanted the show to air on Saturday, as it's supposed to, like it is airing in Japan, is because I was actually hoping for Fragrant Flower Blooms to get sort of a, yes, what I term is the Akebi Sailor uniform effect. For those that don't know what that is, because I literally made it up, it's this idea of piggybacking off of another property that already has an established, desire for it because it fits the typical general audience desires. Yes, for those that don't know, there was a show called Akebi Sailor Uniform that aired way back when My Dress Up Darling Season 1 aired. Because they were both from Cloverworks, they were able to do this cross-promotion. It was Cloverworks Saturday. Every Saturday, people were going to watch Dress Up Darling because it was extremely popular, and then they were seeing a lot of advertising and people talking about Cloverworks' other work that same Saturday, which was Akebi Sailor Uniform. And so they were just kind of going from that show to Akebi Sailor Uniform. It was a great cross-promotion they were doing. And it led to Akebi Sailor Uniform, which is just a straight-up slice of life with cute girls. This is a style of show that typically gets no attention from the mainstream. But because it was doing this cross-promotion with the hot gyaru that was doing cosplay in lewd ways, Akebi Sailor Uniform had a shockingly high attention given to it. And again, I was hoping that would happen with this season. Because these are both Cloverworks titles, the general fandom that would be watching Dress Up Darling would then go watch Fragrant Flower Blooms. Which again, from a marketing perspective, makes no sense to me. Because right now, Cloverworks and companies are cross-promoting these two. And people that are watching on Crunchyroll Dress Up Darling are seeing those cross-promotion. They're going, oh, let me go check out the other one because this show looks great. Let me go watch the other show that looks great. Crickets. Because Netflix is holding on to the damn thing. Netflix is literally people are looking to go tune in, but they can't. There's promotions happening right now to go watch that show, and they literally can't. Through and through, none of this makes sense. Now, yes, for fans of piracy, this doesn't affect you. I understand that. But again, from my perspective, I care about this show. I don't care that you pirate it. It hurts that people have to, because I want people to support the show, and they can't support the show because Netflix is refusing to allow people to support it. That's why I said earlier, and I kind of mean it, either fire or never listen to the strategy of whoever made this call. I know this is not an exclusivity deal. Yes, technically there is times where Abema will have a show and they don't want Crunchyroll to have it yet. And so sometimes you'll have sort of a delay showing it outside of Japan because they don't want people in Japan to sub to Crunchyroll and watch it that way. This is all on the same platform. Netflix has it in Japan in Asia, and yes, US global. There's no reason for this delay, besides the fact that they think that they're going to capture a general audience by releasing it full dump with an English dub. And you're killing any possibility this has any hype behind it. And it honestly does scare me for the future of Netflix and anime. I don't want them to go back to this. This is showing me that they're going back to something that they haven't done since what? Komi-san Can't Communicate? I think it was way back there when they were starting to finally get away from that. That's crazy. The majority of this video is for me to rant. I needed to get this off my chest. Yes, part of it is by some hope that Netflix is watching this and they go, oh yeah, let's fire that dude. That was a bad decision. Let's fix that. But the other side of this is to inform people as well, because I do think that people need to speak up. Don't let this happen. Go find the post that they made for this one. This is on Netflix Geeked. Go there, post a reply, tell them, hell no. Because if we don't speak up now, I think they're going to continue to do this kind of stuff. And it's only going to ruin whatever properties they have on their platform. It's going to ruin the ability for people that are watching seasonal, that like to discuss anime in their circles, from being able to discuss it because they want to support it, but they can't, and they don't want to go to piracy. Either way, this sucks, and I hate it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button down below. Leave me a comment. If you want to support the channel, become a member of the channel. Until next time, take care.